Snipers, you have to see what's happening to the Bitcoin price this Tuesday, as the bulls have Bitcoin up over 3% right now, above the 200-day moving average. And this is a move that we've been waiting for, because every candle so far has held this 200-day moving average, and now we're seeing some upside with a high of 48,824 so far. The question is, are we going to be able to test 49,700, the major resistance inside of our range, where we also now have our previous weekly open showing confluence at that area at 50,000 US dollars on the dot. And so really the biggest level for Bitcoin to conquer right now is 50,000. And that's all we need to do in order to assume potential upside above the 20-week moving average, once again, putting us back in a bullish trend. And because we've held so strong at this 200-day moving average, the bullish case is still certainly on the table. And if we do start to come down and test 44,800, we have market structure just below it. Right around that $44,000 level, in my opinion, is going to be the make it or break it support level for Bitcoin. And at that point, we can start assuming lower prices. But the other aspect of what's happening is we are below the major resistance, and we're staying below it for quite some time. We have a lot of daily candles closing below this level. So the longer we're below 49,700, the longer the downside scenario below 44,000 is on the table. But we just have to get above that $49,700 level to take that downside scenario off the table. And one interesting thing that's happening right now is the S&P 500 did close a daily candle fully below this 50-day moving average. So this is a negative puzzle piece for the Bitcoin bulls. I had to put it out there. We have to address both sides of the audience. And if we look at what's happening to gold, I just want to mention this. On the weekly chart, when gold initially saw the run up to 2,000 US dollars and then has since consolidated, notice how we stayed around the 20-week moving average. We never went above it. Even when gold got boring, we stayed at this 20-week moving average. Now we're really tightening up in this area. Tightening up is never a bad thing. Of course, if we break to the downside, that would be a concern, but tightening up could also lead us to push further up. And with the fundamentals of inflation and things of that nature, I wouldn't see why an upside scenario isn't on the table for something like gold. And if Bitcoin were to also just stick to its 20-week moving average, as things might get boring for the next couple of months or whatever that time frame may be, even if we stick at this 20-week moving average, we're talking about price levels above 50,000 US dollars, potentially coming to test lower levels and maybe test some higher levels. But it isn't an unlikely scenario for Bitcoin right now to move back above this 20-week moving average. Gold did it when it saw its initial all-time high. And so why wouldn't Bitcoin do the same thing, especially with price action stalling out right now at this 50-week moving average sandwiched just below that 20-week moving average? There's certainly an upside scenario on the table right now for Bitcoin, in my opinion. We had a lot of daily candles so far close fully below 49,700. That's not necessarily a good thing, because we never got any daily candles fully above the $49,700 level just yet, since we came down with that candle low of 42,000. And despite seeing some large spikes of sell pressure, notice how the buy pressure that's coming in is a lot larger. And so it looks like institutions are accumulating that $47,000, $48,000, $45,000 range right now. And we even saw that when we initially dropped down, as I've mentioned before, we saw this massive spike of buy pressure come in when we saw that low of 42,000. So I think it's clear right now that the bullish scenario, that this could be a potential short-term bottom for us to come back up, test some higher levels, get back above that 20-week moving average, maybe even get towards the $70,000 levels on the table. And if we start to see weakness at this 200-day moving average, 44,800 is the major support. So just keep that one in mind. But anything above that, the bullish scenario is still highly probable. Below that, that's when we can start talking about some more downside targets. And of course, when we look at the strength of Ethereum right now, notice how we're sitting here at this 100-day moving average. More importantly, the reason that we're sitting here is because there's a 20-week moving average. And Ethereum has maintained itself above the 20-week moving average, and it's also maintained strength against Bitcoin. And so Ethereum doesn't look bearish whatsoever above the 20-week moving average. Even the S&P 500 is above the 20-week moving average. Bitcoin is just slightly below its 20-week moving average. So could that make us assume that this is also an accumulation point for Ethereum to potentially move further up with Bitcoin and see new all-time highs? I think that's still on the table. we're at a very important level of snipers. You have to realize that we're testing major support here on the Ethereum to US dollar price at the 20-week moving average. We're testing major support for Bitcoin, sticking to the 20-week moving average above the 50-week moving average. And we're even testing major levels on some of these 4-dimensional charts, like the gold to Bitcoin chart, sticking here above the 20-week moving average, but it hasn't been able to really breach above the 200-day moving average. And so I mentioned this in the video before. We're sitting at very critical levels right now as we speak, as this video is coming out. And that tells me that there's going to be some volatility and a move coming here really soon. Look at the gold to Bitcoin chart just now rejecting the 200-day moving average, but not with decisiveness yet. It's still inside of its flaggish consolidation. So this is an important puzzle piece. We see continued downside here. That's a major confirmation for Bitcoin that it has a lot more fuel left to move even into new all-time highs. So the gold to Bitcoin chart is going to be good to monitor. And notice here how the altcoins outside of Bitcoin and Ethereum are actually moving above all their daily moving average right now. Not with decisiveness. We can't call this a breakout just yet, but it has a very strong potential right now of moving further up. That would also validate the thesis that Ethereum wants to see new all-time highs, and that is strengthened here with this Ethereum and Bitcoin chart, maintaining price action right now above its previous weekly open and already above its monthly open. A lot happening in the markets. We had a pretty boring couple of days over the last 2 days, so I didn't have a video out, and Bitcoin has really stuck to this range between 49,700 and 44,800. I really believe we're going to be seeing a move here soon, so I don't think it's a bad idea to be dollar cost averaging positions into Bitcoin at this point, Ethereum as well, and some of your favorite altcoins. We've been taking altcoin trades on the Discord. We sent out a signal for Polkadot today. And so there are many other altcoins that are at very key support levels. Dollar cost averaging during these times is always the best idea. Of course, never going all in. If we see lower prices, that becomes even a better opportunity. But Bitcoin at the 200-day moving average, it's already held its 50-week moving average and then saw a new all-time high. Right now, it's holding its 50-week moving average. Is it ready to see some upside and move into 2022 with strength? Well, we'll cover Bitcoin as we always do here on the Snipers channel. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm back in Florida. I'm going to have a live stream set up here soon, and we're going to be upgrading our content. It's going to be super fun. And so just wait for that. And remember to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. It's like 2 a.m. here in Florida. So I'll see you guys next time. Snipers.